Today, I'm going to talk about something called as work breakdown structure. This is an important technique when you are managing a project. So basically, it's all about, let's say, you get a simple project, like let's say you have to get the water heater installed at your home. You need to break it down into pieces with which you can easily budget it. That's our idea. Decomposing is it's what it's all about. Where can we easily assign piece by piece to, like, those pieces should be separately assignable. Those should be, if the one piece has to be assigned to two people, then break it down into two pieces and assign it to, then okay, you have broken it down. So how much you break it down is very important. Like, let's say, you have to install, heater. You have to install pipes, you have to put, screws, you have to put the heater itself, right? And then you have, right? So you need to get an idea about the whole project, like, and make sure that you understand at a level where you can have separate assignees, separate cost. You should understand the cost of every step, and you should understand the duration of every step. For example, let's say you have to install a heater again, right? So to install the heater, you should have a general approach how this will be done. For example, there is a pipe coming, and then there is a shower head on it, right? And we want the heater to be installed so that we start to get hot water in the shower, right? So what we need to do is we need to have we need to disconnect the shower head, and then insert and put take a pipe, which which goes between these two things. And then once it's connected, and this pipe goes to the water heater, and then water heater sends the water into this, right? So it sends the water and then receives the water from the water heater, right? Once you understand this, and then when you turn it on, now basic question comes: how will we regulate the temperature? Because the cold water will go into water heater, and then water heater will bring the car, right, back into the shower head. How will you determine this thing? So clear common sense says that at the end, where the cold water is going into the water heater, that's where the amount of cold water and hot water should be controlled, right? So these basic things you should understand about any project. You have a common sense approach to every project. So this is my thing is, when you are a project manager, when you're working in a business, forget project manager. Actually, when you're working and running a business, you should understand everything to a certain detail. And that detail is, you should understand where the major risks are. You will be able to understand, okay, like, and where the major issues are. Like, for example, in this case, you'll be able to understand, okay, hot water, it will be too hot of water if there is no sensor here, if there is no way to regulate the mixture, right? The mixing of the cold and water. And you should also think, okay, how would the water heater get the electrical supply? You see, these will keep on coming. So common sense approach to getting anything done you should have. And when you have the common sense, you should have, you should break it down into pieces which are separately manageable or assignable, and or both assignable. And they should be, like, for example, if it is a big, in case of water heater, it will be done by one person, right? He'll come and do everything, right? But then someone has to bring the water heater. Will that the same person bring the water heater? No, that will be someone else, right? That will be you. So these are definitely 2-3 separate tasks, right? But within the water heater, separate installation of pipe may not be needed. Separate electrical may be a separate guy. For example, electrical work has to be done by a separate guy. So when the skill changes, even then you need to break it on to a point where you can identify different skills that are needed, and then you can make then you can make different. So you can make, okay, these are the separate manageable pieces, separately assignable pieces. Separately, you have to assign the cost to it, the amount of time in man hours. Let's say 2 man hours, 3 man hours, that will be needed. If it is like the 2 people will take 2 hours, that's 4 man hours. 2 people will take 3 man hours, that's 6 man hours, right? You should know in the number of man hours, the duration it will take, the amount of effort, the complication, the type of skill, the skill level that is needed. And you should know the as I said, the actual the actual yeah, it should be separately assignable. And you should know basically separate cost, the amount of money that will be involved in implementing this. So these are the things that you should know, and you should break it down into pieces, and that's really important skill. And when you are a business owner, you'll be, obviously, let's say you hire 2 SUSM guys, they'll do only SUSM work. But what if the electricity doesn't come? It's your responsibility, right? So you should, when the electrician comes, you should know, you should ask electrician, and you should know the whole work he's going to be doing at a certain level of detail. And that's what I'm really talking about, right? You have to have at a pretty good level of detail wherein you can understand the budget, the time taken, the number of men, the time taken in terms of man hours, the skill level that is needed, all these good things about various steps, and break it down to pieces, break it down to a level where you can separately assign them and separately budget them and separately calculate the man hours for, and you can clearly see that those are separate skills. And if those are separate skills, then you need to make it into separate tasks. So that means it will be assigned to different people, right? So anyway, so this is a pretty interesting important point when you're doing the project manager or running a company, basically, or running a company or running a business. All right, thank you guys.